Hi, my name is Molly Lawrence, and the topic that I have picked is adolescent and parent conflict. The research article I've provided is titled Toward Developing Laboratory Based Parent Adolescent Conflict Discussion Tasks That Consistently Elicit Adolescent Conflict Stress Responses, supported from physiology and observed behavior. To introduce this article, it kind of explains the struggle adolescent and parents go through as they find their footing in this stage of life. It also explains the purpose of the study, which is to advance the literature and techniques for laboratory assessments of parent and adolescent conflict that focuses on the adolescent's responses in order to better understand the maladjustment that adolescents may see when experiencing such conflict. One of the key terms to take note of is TTI, which refers to a structured interview administered separately to both parents and children, or adolescents in this case, which a trained interviewer asks parents and children questions about everyday life. Some of the study methods seen in this article ensure that the results were both valid and reliable. 47 adolescents between ages 14 and 17, along with their parents, participated. To be eligible for this study, adolescents and parents both had to speak English and have an adolescent living in their home, along with no history of substantial developmental, learning, or psychiatric disorders. They were also required to be able to attend each of the assessments throughout the study. Video and audio recording were used, along with tracking of heart rate and other stress-related responses, similar to techniques used in a lie detector test. Research staff also used observational methods to identify and code conflict behavior to indicate parent and adolescent conflict-related behavior. This technique was used to create a baseline reaction, along with studying them throughout each assessment throughout the study. Along with this, control groups and conflict groups were designed and either given a hot topic or a vacation topic. Hot topics were things that evoked conflict, such as curfew, dressing inappropriately, chores, or other discussions that come up in typical life that create kind of an argument between an adolescent and a parent. Vacation topics were everyday topics that could be discussed without conflict. How was your day? How was the weather? Very non-confrontational topics. The study results were pretty much what you would think. It was important to ensure participants had similar baseline measurements so that they could determine whether the conflict was due to the discussion and not something that was systematically different between the groups. Adolescent baselines did not differ drastically between the control and conflict groups, but it was obvious that adolescents in the conflict group displayed significantly greater arousal levels than the control group. Higher baseline conflict predicted greater hostility for the adolescents in the conflict group, but not for those in the control group. So those that showed a higher conflict in their baseline typically trended towards a higher conflict throughout the study. The hot topics were also successful in eliciting both physiological and behavioral displays of adolescent conflicts related to the stress caused by the discussion. I've also provided a chart that was in the article that explained demographic characteristics. It listed differences such as age, gender, ethnicity, marital status, and weekly family earnings that could be looked at to see how things may have been different between each parent-adolescent group. The discussion and implications seen throughout the study showed that results suggested baseline measurements using TTI were instrumental in understanding what conditions and for whom adolescents' hostility increased. So the context of each discussion was very important for eliciting a stress response. The link between the discussion conditions and hostility was only significant for adolescents with high baseline conflict scores. Results also indicated that when measuring parent-adolescent conflict, the context is essential in provoking expression of adolescent hostility. Some limitations to the current investigation included primary caregivers accompanying the adolescents. While they were able to pick which caregiver came with them, the majority of the participants came with a biological mother. Another limitation seen throughout the study was only investigating one pathway of adolescent parent conflict. The study also recognized that there could be several other avenues to parent-adolescent conflict and how that could also contribute to maladjustment and development. Overall, this investigation provided a global view of both psychophysiological and behavioral arousal with one measurement of heart rate and hostility behavior during a 5-minute discussion. There is an immense amount of knowledge to still be gained on this topic, but this study was a fantastic starting point in reaching new information and knowledge about how to further investigate parent-adolescent conflict in a laboratory setting. Thank you.